I do want to start here because there's just some interesting stuff. I don't even know if you threw this in here because you saw that I had responded to this or not, but I did. And I had made some comments on this as well. But a media member, someone actually doing content within the space, throwing out some pretty, let's just say, out there accusations.
I think that independent of each other, all three of us responded to this on social. And now it comes into the podcast world where we can have this discussion together. So a man by the name of Blaine Grisack, sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, Blaine, but by putting out this ridiculous take, you left that possibility out there.
Sorry.
Here's what, sorry, he's not Canadian, but sorry. Here's what he had to say. Justin Herbert has thrown a touchdown in 26 straight regular season games. Tonight, DraftKings boosted Herbert one passing touchdown from minus 800 to even money. He has yet to throw a TD. Sports leagues and sports books are in cahoots with each other. Change my mind. All right, Blaine. It's not possible for me to change your mind. I'm just going to let you know it's not going to be possible because you are too thick for me to change your mind if you're putting this take out there in the first place. That Justin Herbert, because one sports book that has a partnership with the NFL did not throw a touchdown pass, that clearly he was instructed, coerced, in some way cajoled to not throw a touchdown pass against the Denver Broncos because DraftKings offered a boost that some people took. This is one of the most insane things that anybody working inside the space has ever said.
Ever.
And Matt, you and I, and Dustin probably too, we all have bad beat stories that, you know, we all know what people say. Bad beats are like one part of the human anatomy. Everyone's got one that we could tell you about sure thing bets that didn't come home. So that's one of these things that just sort of happened. So I'll leave the floor there. You guys have all commented and have thoughts about it, and I know I'd like to hear what you have to say.
It's just to me, Dustin, I saw it and I just responded. I was like, I'd like to think that this was put out in jest, because if this is an honest take, then like, I just don't want to believe that anybody is this dense. But I mean, again, we've talked about this time and time again. And guys, you know, the reason where we talk about the integrity of sports betting and all this, and like, that's why when this stuff gets brought up in these meetings by these people who are against sports betting, and they talk about throwing games and fixing games and this, that, and the other and all stuff like that. Justin Herbert is going to sign his next contract is going to be for $300+ million when he signs his new contract. Him not throwing a touchdown pass in a game, there is no amount of money any human being could pay him to risk this contract that he is going to get in order to make him like get this little short payday once in his life. Like, it's just, I don't know why people cannot process in their head that the amount of money for these professional athletes that they make today, that they could be coerced to do anything to alter a game. Now, if you want to talk to me about college athletes, or especially low-level college athletes or low-level tennis players or something like that, that's a completely different discussion. But if you start talking to me about the NFL or the NBA or Major League Baseball or the NHL or whatever, I'm going to cut you off immediately because you are paying no attention.
Yeah, we could talk about this for an hour, this subject. This is all wild to me. And yeah, it all started with this pretty innocuous DraftKings boost. Here's the other thing. DraftKings wants you to win this. DraftKings probably actually pissed that this didn't happen. They didn't refund it, nor should they. But they were really trying to give away free money. They were this is the reason they do this. They are not doing this to like, we're gonna boost the odds and get people on this side of it. That's not what they're doing at all. So yeah, the really crazy part is this. Yeah, this guy had this take. He got a blue check mark on the Twitter machine. He's does content. I think I forget. Does he write about the Rams or the Chargers? I don't know. I've spent way more time thinking about this guy than I should. But this thing has this tweet. And they're not ironic likes. There are 19,000 people who like this tweet on Twitter. You search for DraftKings that night and the morning after that. There are tons and tons of people like that share this opinion, that believe this is a thing that happened, that DraftKings and the NFL and Herbert all got together and like, you threw the ball 57 times, none of them for a touchdown. Do you know how insane that's? It's like the fact. I guess we shouldn't be like wowed by this idea that people are this stupid and want to buy into conspiracy theory. This obviously beyond the remit of the show, but conspiracy theories have taken hold in a lot of realms of our lives, and this is one. People, rather than looking at the absolute simplest thing that, look, he threw the ball 57 times, none of them happened to be a touchdown. This is just life. This is sports. He wasn't not trying to throw a touchdown. Like, it just happened. You got something that was very likely to happen didn't happen. That does not mean, Occam's razor said, that's variance. That is all this is. That there's not some vast conspiracy to get people betting $25 max on a freaking prop bet that DraftKings boosted to stop this. But the scary thing is this guy is not on an island. There are people who are saying they're deleting their DraftKings account. I don't know. Like, DraftKings has we're probably testing the no PR is bad PR, any PR is good PR, because they're taking, like, there's people who are out there like just believe with their hearts and souls that DraftKings did this, and I'm here to tell you, not true. And you're an idiot if you think that. And I have a tweet with a lot of engagement too, where my mentions are full of people who are like, You're a rube, and you're living in a fantasy world if you don't think all these NFL games are fixed and these bets aren't fixed. And I think Dave Purdom from ESPN put this really well, and I'll stop talking for a little while. Like, if you think all this stuff is fixed, stop betting on it. Go away. That's the baseline.
Adam, not to get too big on our high horse here or whatever, and shift this in a different direction, but look. There's at least a little bit of journalistic integrity stuff going on here as well. If you are in the media and you are a guy with a platform and you are a person with following and stuff, throwing out asinine accusations like this, throwing out stuff where you are, you are basically using your platform to influence some people who don't even know what's going on, right? Here's the thing is this boost, Herbert not throwing a touchdown, all this stuff like that, to 90% of his followers wouldn't have even been a thing. No one even knows that it existed. But now you've made it a thing and you put it out there and it's made it into this issue where all of these people are reading what you say, believing you, because again, you have a platform. You're the dude with the blue check mark. You're the dude that has, that's a journalist and all that. And that's the other thing that kind of pisses me off about stuff like this is just hey man, have a little bit. I know we've gotten away from journalistic integrity a lot in different forms and stuff, but there's got to be just some, have a little bit, right?
Yeah. He writes for SB Nation. I can't say I've ever thought to myself, Washington Post, LA Times, SB Nation. I'm not going to.
Sure, I got you.
I know where you're going with this, and I know that, in the end, it's an insane take, right? We can all agree on that. But I'll repeat what I said on social media. When sportsbooks partner with leagues, when the ties are this close, when you went from this will kill our game to give us all the money within a span of 5 years, you leave yourself open to this kind of insanity. And so this is what the NFL and the sportsbooks need to be aware of the closer that they draw these ties together. Because someday there could be something that is less insane than this that happens that makes it look much, much worse. Calvin Ridley could be playing and not out at a time that he's betting. That story could have ended very differently than it did. So, again, this take is nuts, but the perception risks are real.